What's good? It's Food for Thought Friday. Actually, missed out on yesterday, so we're making it happen today, March 15th. We're in the middle of this month. It's going by ridiculously fast. But, anyways, we're in the middle of madness. Okay, so today I want to talk about stepping out and like living your dreams and the madness of that because so many people don't do it. I mean, think about back when you were a kid and you were like all the things that you want to do when you grew up, and the older you got, maybe it shifted a little bit, but you were still dreaming and you still had all these thoughts and all these things in your mind, like when I graduate or when I get older, I'm going to do this. If you stop and think, are you that? Or maybe if it changed, because I know some kids, oh, I want to be Madonna or somebody famous or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, are you what you've always dreamed of becoming? And if not, why not? Okay, so it's so hard for us to step out and actually live our dreams because of what it takes. And I know I've talked about that a little bit before, but today I want to say, if you don't wake up, if your dream doesn't wake you up every morning, then you're living a nightmare. Okay, so if your dream doesn't wake you up in the morning, then you're living a nightmare. And when I say that, I mean that when it comes to a dream, it's like I said, and I'm big on passion, so it's got to be your passion and your dream. So if that's not what wakes you up in the morning, then your whole life, it's got to be a nightmare. And it might not be that bad, but when you have your passion, you're living out your passion, it's like it stirs in your heart and it's the only thing you think about. And whenever you're in class or at work or doing whatever and your mind wanders, that's where it goes. And that's how you'll know where your heart is, because that's where your mind goes. And so if your dream doesn't wake you up and if your dream doesn't lay you down, if you ever get to sleep, because I know when you're living a dream life, you don't get much sleep. Check out the eyes. This is just what it looks like. You got the puffy eyes because you just been grinding. Okay, I'm in the midst of a grind right now, and so you just got to do what you got to do. I got to do what I got to do to get to where I want to be and to be the woman that I want to be and see my life the way I want it to be and the way I believe God designed for it to be. But that won't happen without work. So there's always the saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I mean, you can go ahead and put that in, and it won't work if you don't work. Point blank, period. Your dream won't work if you don't work, because it's not going to be handed to you. Okay, so going back to, if your dream doesn't wake you up, then you're living a nightmare. And if so, figure it out. Find your passion. Search. Live life. If you're not in school, go to school. If you already went to school and you're done with it, then search and feel and find out what it is. What is it that makes you angry? What is it that you're like, man, I wish there was this going on? Or what are you just pumped about? Figure out what that is. Okay? And once you do, I want to shift back a little bit to mindset, because how you get out of bed in the morning can predict your day. And this is all goes into your dream too, because if your dream doesn't wake you up, then and you're living a nightmare, then that can go back to how you get up in the morning. So the mindset that you have, it's not did you get up on the left side or the right side of the bed. You got to be pumped regardless of what side you roll out on, because I sleep in the middle. So if I roll out on the left, I got to be good. If I roll out on the right, I got to be good. If I just jump up and jump off, I got to be good. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what's going to get you going. It's all in the mindset. Because everything starts here. And if this ain't right, and nothing else is going to be right in your life. Okay, so again, when it comes to stepping out and being the madness of living out your dreams, again, we've talked about sacrifices, but right now, what's stronger? Your excuses or your desires? So that's something you got to think about. What is stronger, your excuses or your desires? Because everybody has excuses. Everybody has a reason why they can't do something, why they're not smart enough, why they're not big enough, why they're not strong enough, why they don't have enough resources, and this, that, and the other. But excuses are like buttholes. Everybody's got them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get to the point to where you don't even use them anymore. If there's a reason why not, you don't even say it. You just find the reason why you can. Okay, because your desires, they have to trump your excuses, because if you don't, you will stay living that nightmare life. Okay, and it might not necessarily be scary, but it won't be your dream life. Okay, and then another thing is, what's the story you're gonna make out of your life? Because I'm sitting here and I'm watching a couple like 30-30s for on ESPN, and just listen to different people's spoken words and all these different things that get me motivated. I'm like, man, these people got a story, you know. And I know that they most likely didn't. They didn't predict it that way, and they weren't like, okay, I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna be on the wrong trail for about a good 10 years, then I'm gonna come back so that way I can have a story. For some of us, it doesn't, necessarily happen like that. And then there's a lot of people who feel like they don't really have a testimony because they never went off track or whatever. But your life, like, that's like, what is the story you're gonna make out of your life? Every day when you wake up, you got to live your life like it's golden. You know what I'm saying? You got to get up and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be intentional about my greatness. Because when it comes to your life, what is the legacy that you're going to leave behind? Okay, because that's what you have to think about. So it's not about how long you lived, but how well you lived. Okay, so whether you die at the age of, who knows what it is, too young, too old, and I don't want to really put in a number on when it's appropriate for somebody to die, obviously, but it's not about how long you live, but how well you live. Because if you're leaving behind a good legacy, and you never know how your life has impacted somebody else's, how you living out your dream life, how you pursuing your dreams and your goals and exceeding the expectations and all that, and how that legacy and what you're leaving behind could affect and change somebody else's life. So that's when going out and living has to be beyond us. Also, you got to start thinking about other people, the people who look up to us. And maybe you don't even know that there's people that look up to you, but there's always somebody watching, whether it's just through Twitter or Facebook or just at school and on campus. There's always somebody watching. So live for your legacy, because once you're gone, what is it that you're leaving behind for people to remember you for? Okay. And then the last thing I want to talk about is, people always talk about this marathon life. Well, you talk to any marathon runner and see how often they never prepared for the marathon they ran in. Okay, so yeah, life is like a marathon, and you're always going and this and that, and you got to do different things, but people who participate in them prepare for them. So yeah, there's this dream life out there. There's this legacy you want to leave behind. You want to pursue your desires and live out your passion, but you have to prepare for it, because if you're not ready, you're not going to make it past the second mile. You know what I'm saying? You might not even make it to the first pit stop to get yourself something to drink. Or if you do make it there, that's where you're going to stay, because you weren't prepared for it. So that's studying, sharpen your gift, sharpen your craft, perfect your craft, getting after it, learning, building yourself, making yourself to be the best that you can be. Because if you're really about that marathon life, you're going to prepare for it before you jump fully into it. Okay. The other day, somebody said, "You're crazy." And I was like, yeah, I am, and I took it as a compliment, because those who step out and live out their dream lives and actually do what it is that they want to do, it comes with sacrifices, and you just gotta do things. And the crazy make it. The crazy are successful. It's the ones who actually think that they can do something different. It's the ones that actually think that they can change the world and do the impossible. And those are the ones people call crazy. So I was called crazy the other day, and I was like, you're right, because this stuff ain't easy. And I am crazy, because sometimes I sit down and I'm like, shoot, what in the world am I doing? But then I've only got one life to live, and I want to leave a legacy. And so I want to do what God created me to do, and I got to do what I got to do to get to where I got to get to please who created me. And so, Food for Thought Friday. It's your girl Fresh, Crazy Reese. Hit me up. Have a good weekend out here in Cali. It's about 80 degrees today, so I'm out here about to get my tan on. You know what I'm saying? All right. Peace.